right at the old BonnieGillespie.com/live. So we should be pushing through now to BonnieGillespie.com/live, YouTube, Facebook, anywhere else, at least those three places. And if you will please comment in the chat wherever you are so that I know that you can see me and hear me and you're connected, and tell me where you're watching from and something you're excited about as we end the year of no end. That would be amazing. All right, so hello, you beautiful people. I see the numbers going up, so I know we are broadcasting. Stephanie is confirming that we are up and running at Facebook. Fabulous. Keith is confirming that BonnieGillespie.com/live is live. Lenka says, hi. Hello, you beautiful people. Tell me something you're excited about as we kick off a whole new year. We are going to have today an ABA, which is an Ask Bon Anything experience. And so this can be whatever it is that you need it to be. We can chat about the woo. We can chat about your next tier plan. We can chat about the framework for getting gear, the free training that I have out right now up until 10 o'clock tonight Pacific. So for the next 10 hours, you can go to BonnieGillespie.com/replay, but also let's use this one, BonnieGillespie.com/now. That one's even shorter and easy to remember, and I have it available for my screen. You can go there and watch my free training. Go ahead and open that now so that you are able to get the PDF workbook and watch the free training before we take it down at 10 Pacific. What do you want to talk about? What kind of questions might you have about your creative career? What's going on in your life? Hello, Katie. It's good to see you. Hi, Sam. So good to see you here as well. I am here for whatever it is you may need. And I know a lot of people may be over at Clubhouse right now because I got tapped Monday night, late Monday night. I got tapped for Clubhouse and ended up spending a lot of hours hanging out and jamming with some amazing people at Clubhouse. And that is an addiction that is real. Yes, Mara, happy hump day. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Excellent. Thank you, Lenka, for dropping the link in at Facebook and at YouTube. That is phenomenal. Hi, Kate. So good to see you. Tell me something you're excited about. Please tell me something you're excited about, because I know we've got some excitement surrounding this new year that we are headed into. Hello, Nicole. So good to see you. Have you hugged yourself today? Oh my gosh. What's on my sleeve? What's on my sleeve? Because, of course, I'm going to get distracted by that. Virgo 12th house. Virgo 12th house. Hug yourself if you have not done so today. And even if you have, because it feels really good and we need lots of the brain chemicals that kick off when we do this. Hello, Kristen. Excited about new planner season. Yes, yes, yes. There is something so delicious and delightful about setting up a new planner. I have too many planners. Not surprising. I am all about the paper. I am very old school analog with all of my calendar stuff. Yeah, that's my December calendar. But I also have this phenomenal, oh my God, astrology planner that I'm crazy in love with from the Honeycomb Collective. And look at the gorgeousness of this. Oh my gosh. It is customized to my birth. So every day I have, oh my gosh, I can go ahead and start using this. Why have I not been using this week? You can go through and see not only the transits of all the big astro for the world in black, but in blue, the ones that are affecting me personally. This stuff makes me so happy. And each month there is also a month at a glance. Let's see, I'm so crazy about this. So they customize this for you, and you can get it digitally as well if you're not a paper person. Like for February, that's what the planets are going to be doing for me in February. And there's my art for February. And then where's my February at a glance? Yes, my entire February at a glance. Like, I am so crazy about this. Oh my gosh, y'all. Oh, all the planners. And then I have a pocket planner, which of course has all the astrology. Like, I want to know, when are all the things moving and shifting and what's happening? Okay, Kate is excited about pilot season. Yes, I am with you for that. That is going to be a completely different experience this year. Nicole is excited for auditions this coming summer. Absolutely. You bet. We are going to be picking up. Production is definitely happening. It's in a whole different way, but it is happening. So being ready for all of that. Yes, yes, yes. Katie says, I am very excited to start getting gear for the next year in like 2 days. Not even. Yes, in 36 hours, you will have your first email that tells you it is time to come to the dojo to experience day one of these 100 days that are going to change the shape of your career and your relationship with yourself. Your commitment to showing up for yourself will be incredible because you are showing up for yourself every day, even if you don't get through the 100 days in 100 days, because it is a lot and life happens and people get stalled out with, because some stuff is like, ooh, I'm feeling some friction around this work. I did not realize that updating my bio with this enoughness set point was going to challenge me and make me feel a certain kind of way. It's very interesting to then have to unpack the work of, why did I always have this shitty bio for so long? Oh, because if I get my bio correct, I then am going to be out in the world exposed and ready. And then if I still get rejected and all my tools are in shape, then I don't have anything to blame. So a lot of times we will keep some of our tools less than optimal because we don't want to have only ourselves or conditions we can't explain to blame for when things don't go the way we think they should. And so we do a lot of work about unpacking the enoughness of all of that. Michael is also excited about the 100 days ahead. If you would like to join us for these 100 life-changing days, that same link that I gave you for the replay of the free training has information on how you can join us, but the deadline is 10 p.m. Pacific. So quite literally less than 10 hours from the time we're doing this live. If you're watching this in replay, it may already be too late. But reach out. You can always email us at help@bonniegillespie.com or continue to comment at the Facebook version of this live stream, because we do keep comments open there, closed everywhere else. We are happy to entertain the conversation of when we will be reopening for other enrollment. But the reason we close enrollment at this time of year is because we are all systems go for our one and only live round of the year. And starting January 1st, we have 100 straight days through mid-April where we are nothing but the live round. And that is 100 straight days of curriculum on this gorgeous, glorious framework. And yes, I am happy to spend time talking about this if it would help you. But you have a version that looks like this, and you're going to start filling it in to look like this. And if you're like me, you're going to keep up with your 100-day progress like this and see where you might be not spending as much time as you need to be spending to keep this whole thing healthy. And you'll start seeing where there's a deficiency in your attention. And this whole system needs to be healthy in order for you to have long-term, ongoing success in your career and life. And as creatives, I am all about making sure that we have a system that can be purring in the background, very, very healthy, to allow us to be able to do all the work of the storytelling gifts that we were born to share. And also, as a part of the live round, we do live Zooms every 10 days to answer your questions. I'm there in the comments all the time anyway for answering questions like this, but also every 10 days I go on Zoom. You don't have to come on camera, or I think we have it set up where it's not you on camera, just me. And you can come on audio and ask a question in that live Q&A. So it's a little hot seat experience. Adil wants to know, what's Virgo 12th house? I'm Virgo sun, by the way. Okay, so in your chart, hang on, because of course I brought all sorts of things because I didn't know what y'all were going to want to talk about since it's an Ask Bon anything. By the way, if you're new, I am the author of Self-Management for Actors, the business and mindset book for the entertainment industry, specifically for actors, sure, but for all creatives in show business, and even not show business people have benefited from this amazing book. It is available at Amazon. It is available in audiobook. You just go over to smfa4.com. That is SMFA, as in Self-Management for Actors, and then the number 4.com, because it's the 4th edition. So we all have a chart. So Adil, to answer your question, and I hope I'm saying your name right, please let me know if I'm not. We all have a chart. And these are houses, and each of these houses means something. And the 12th house is this guy over here, and mine's in Virgo. And Virgo 12th house just means that there will be a tag in a piece of clothing that will bother me, and I will say, this is how I die. There will be a hair that gets caught and I can't find it, and it's on me, and I say, this is how I die. There will be a door that is left ajar, and I need doors to be all the way open or all the way closed. If it's anything but all the way open or all the way closed, I die. And I am, of course, using hyperbole with that, but my point is, it feels like I can't survive that thing. And that's, so Virgo 12th house just means when I gave myself a self hug and saw some schmutz on my sweater, I was like, nope, can't have that, because something is not as it should be. And when something is not as it should be, Virgo 12th house gets really twitchy. Stephanie says, so looking forward to setting up my planner when it shows up. Oh, good. I'm glad you ordered one as well. Katie says, have a tab open searching for planners in the background of all of this. That's amazing. Kate says, what's happening with production? Are the networks looking to jump back with a bang or gingerly? Kate, depends on successes that they've already had with coming back to production, putting their toe in the water. If they have already had some successes, which, people have been back in production since July, if they have had some successes and they have learned how to do it in safe ways, and they have no instances of COVID outbreaks or even one diagnosis positive within their experience, and the added money, the budget increase that has to happen for that, obviously, and the added time to production that is required, if that has gone well, and if that has allowed them to see the benefits of having production up and running, they are going to be a little more aggressive in an era where we have vaccines. Because now there is, now at the time when we have vaccines universally available, which I know is not now, I'm just saying when we're at that now, people who have already been successful at making this work are now going to be able to work even more efficiently and more creatively and faster. And we will see that precision really kick in. But at budget levels where maybe they've not yet been able to do anything because it's just been so financially taxing to maintain the COVID protocols for safety on those sets, they will now start to try things. And of course, hopefully they will learn from what those with bigger budgets and deeper pockets have been able to do. So I think it's going to vary production by production, studio by studio, network by network, project by project. Justine says, hello and happy new year and happy full moon love. Cancer full moon yesterday. Did y'all feel it? I soaked in the tub after I did 4.25 hours on Clubhouse. Oh my gosh, soaked in the tub and enjoyed that full moon like the Cancer that I am. It felt so good and decadent and yummy. Kate says, really looking forward to getting gear for the next tier. Got a new binder specifically for the work. Yeah, you did. I love it. Yes. And I agree, Katie, fresh office supplies are the best. The best. Thank you, Lenka, for dropping the link for anyone who wants to join us at the dojo for these 100 life-changing days. BonnieGillespie.com/now. Get that open even if you are not going to be joining us for the 100 days, because there is a free training there, PDF of the workbook, the video that will be gone at 10 p.m. Pacific, so make sure you budget time to watch that today. I want you to have that free training so that you can learn how this system comes together, and how even if you're not joining us for the 100 days, your work is to keep this running healthily and purring in the background so that you can then do the things that you're meant to do as an artist. Stephanie says that first email made me excited for a lot of things. Okay, so if you're not getting Bond Blast, you can go to BonnieGillespie.com/Bond Blast and get on my mailing list. The email that I sent out about the firsts and celebrating the firsts that we've already had, but also looking forward to the firsts that we've not yet had, is what Stephanie's referencing here. That first email made me excited about for a lot of things. For this moment, excited for new headshots. Just put my name in for the date I want, and I know we had aligned that date using the woo, which I love. You had done so much good recon and homework for that, Stephanie. Delighted I'm wearing the same color. You got the memo? For the official Book It Blue today? Yes. Sam says, woo question, I'm not joining the live 100 days, but is there an ideal house time to start the 100 days? Sam, I love this question because it so aligns the woo and the 100. So, Sam, here's what I would do. I would take a look because you're referencing the work that we did during my last live stream, which was where we planned out your 2021 using where the sun is in your chart, month to month to month, and looking at when the sun is going to light up certain houses. So if anybody's like, I have no idea what you're talking about, Bonnie, go to my YouTube channel or into the archives at my Facebook page. Where the live streams are archived, and the one that I did earlier this month on December 18th explains how to do this. So it is, Sam, I think anytime that you are in a, gosh, because it's going to span 3.5 months, the 100 days, right? We're going to hit 4 of your houses. When to start it to me would feel like first house, because that is when you're focused on self and ego and who I want to be in the world. And that sets a really good intention, a really solid, like, yes, I claim this. I have decided this is who I am and who I want to be behind it. I like that. I would also look at, if you're doing the live round, which I know you said you're not doing right now, but if you were doing the live round, the 3rd house would be a good time to start it, because that's community and the people that we rely on in our support network, which is a big part of the live round. It's there for you anytime that you're doing it, because even when we're not in a live round, we do a monthly Zoom where you can ask me questions about the curriculum or about your particular situation in hot seat format. But we just do that every 10 days, and the community is on the same page, quite literally, in our membership for the live round during those 100 days, because everybody just starts with day 1 and progresses through together until at some point people start lagging or getting ahead. And so it just, it's not every single day of the 100 does it feel like the whole gang is there. You will see attrition in the showing up every day of it, just because of life. But I would also look at your, could be 5th house, because that's a good actor house. That's a good alignment for play and stepping up in the spotlight and being seen. And then also I would look at the 8th house for money, and I would look at the 9th house for expansion and growth and exploration of your reach. The 10th house is career. So honestly, that's going to be the sweet spot, is 8th house into the 9th house into the 10th house as the bulk of the 3 months of the 100 days, because it's just over 3 months. That's what I would do, Sam. So you can customize that to yourself. Alex, so good to see you, sweetheart. Thank you for my happy LA birthday anniversary. I like how you say it. Yes, I know, Alex. My gosh. So much fun to have shared that with you as well. It's so good to see you, sweetheart. I don't know if you know how often I send people to your Instagram as an example of here's how to do it. Here's how to have a life and a specialty and be an actor of a certain brand, and showcase that in a pattern at Instagram that makes it so the buyers just know when they land there that this is my brand, and therefore who the buyers are that are most attracted to that. You do such a good job of that. So I want to mention that since you're here. It's so good to see you. Nicole says, I adore that you take such a holistic approach to this way of life. I'm such an Edgar Casey baby, and I'm also an astrologer's daughter, and this brings joy to my soul. Oh, Nicole, fellow astrologer's daughter. That's amazing. Yes, I think doing this astrologer's daughter work really is reconnecting me with my mom and her life's work in a way that is such a beautiful bond, and I'm enjoying it so much more than I thought I would. Gary says, I wasn't so successful getting through the 100 days a couple of years ago. I didn't finish. Tips for setting myself up better for this round. Gary, love this question. So I am a member of quite a few things that are meant to enhance my business, my career, my life. I have a sobriety membership that I'm a part of. I have a business mastermind that I'm a member of. I have a couple of money mindset groups that I'm a part of. And all of them offer curriculum that I have not checked off the box on every single thing that they offer. And I continue to pay membership in the ones that are ongoing memberships. In the ones that are not ongoing membership, where I bought lifer status, I paid, I'm in. And it doesn't matter that I've not hit everything, because the value is not in hit everything. The value is in get what I need from this buffet. So if you can see it as a buffet on a cruise ship, where it's like you have a food court of every single kind of food you could ever possibly want, even on a 10-day or 2-week cruise, you're not going to get to eat everything. You will not get to experience, although it'll feel like it. At the end of the cruise, you'll be like, blah! You're not going to get to eat everything. You're not going to get to sample a bite of every single thing that they make. You're going to pick and choose. You are going to show up when it feels aligned. You're going to open a day and go, not really feeling this one. And you can either bookmark it for later or not. And if you're someone who's like me, who's an interactive learner, you're going to show up for the Zooms, because showing up for the Zooms, you'll hear conversations, you'll hear other people asking questions that'll make you go, ooh, I like the sound of that. What day was that? And someone in the chat will reply back to you, oh, that was day whatever. And then you can go, let me go back to that day, and maybe I need to revisit that because it didn't line up for me at the first time I visited it, but now it sounds like that is something I need. And just be in the flow of knowing it's a gym where you're working out and you don't need to use every piece of equipment. So I've now shifted to a completely different metaphor, but it's the same idea. I know with my memberships, I look for my baseline criteria, which baseline criteria, big player in getting gear for the next tier. And if you don't know what that is, you can Google Bonnie Gillespie baseline criteria and see where I have talked about that out on my blog. But on day, what is it? I moved some things around. It's day 6. On day 6, we get into baseline criteria. And for me, I set baseline criteria for anything I buy, for anything in life, for any experience that I have. And I say, what is my baseline criteria? Because once I've checked that off, I'm in bonus points. And so for me, there's a membership that I'm a part of that does a weekly Zoom on Fridays. They also do weekly Zooms on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I've never been to the one on Wednesdays, and I've been a member since July. Never been to the one on Wednesdays. I've never made it. I've been to about half the ones that happen on the Tuesday. I have been to every one of the Fridays, except for a few I wasn't able to hit live, and I immediately went in and watched the replay of the ones that I couldn't attend live. And I decided back in August, I was a month in the program, I was like, my baseline criteria is this Friday thing. This is what my membership is for. Everything else is bonus points. Give yourself that luxury of not standing on your own neck with pressure about opening all 100 days, because that may not be what your experience needs to look like. Michael says over at YouTube, Bonnie, you do so much. How do you manage your time in order to complete all you do and still maintain self-care? Michael, I love this question because self-care is a passion. It's because I prioritize self-care that I get so much done. Because if I start sacrificing my self-care, I have relaxed boundaries, not only with myself, but with others. It's always symptomatic of that. And then I find that my support system starts lacking because I'm over giving and not replenishing. And then this whole thing starts to fall apart. When you do this in the 100 days, because I know you're joining us for the 100 days, you will start to map out where's your weak spot. Where's the place that you just don't like doing the work? And when you start seeing where that is, you'll know that's the pothole. That's the pothole that gives me the flat tire every damn time. And then you know you have to prioritize it. So for me, there was a time I didn't prioritize self-care at all. I built my empire on vodka and no sleep. I, for decades, overdrank and overworked and underslept and definitely did not prioritize self-care in any kind of way. And I would have to get sick in order to get a break. And this is with me being my own boss. I'm like the worst boss ever for myself because I would never take a break. I would never take a vacation. I would never clock out. And finally, my body said, bitch, sit down. And I was put on bed rest for 3.5 months in 2018. And I went, got the memo. Because even by then, I had been sober for 1.5 years. So it wasn't even that I had poor boundaries with how I was treating my body and my self-respect. I actually was just doing all the things, exercising, going everywhere, enjoying just being sober and having experiences like that that felt so new and yummy to me. But I was still go. And my body was like, no. And you don't have to have a hard reset like that in order to make that shift. You just have to commit to it. And so the way I get things done is I wall off days on my calendar that are just no client days. I have days that are I'm not going to talk to my team days. And I'm like, y'all will figure it out. I am not going to come tell y'all how to do anything. And my team loves those days, because when I get into the slack of it all and communication of here's how I want you to answer that email, here's how I want you to do this, when I'm micromanaging my team, they don't like how that feels. I don't like how that feels. And it doesn't at all role model where I want to go as we continue to grow the business, which is I want my team to be able to operate with agency and autonomy and confidence that they've got this. And that means I have to have some time that I'm just like, I'm not going to be available, and y'all will get to problem solve without me. And that is something that's very hard for me, because I built my business from the ground up. And at the end, the buck stops here. If my team answers an email wrong, I'm the one who has to make up for that. If something goes the wrong way, the buck stops here. I am the one who has to answer for that. It is a test of my ability to let go and relax. And that's a muscle that I'm always trying to work on. So you will find what your muscle is that needs to have the work. And part of showing up for this 100-day experience is you are going to be building that muscle, which is phenomenal. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, Katie, do you have any wisdom to share for those of us who are starting the 100 days on the intuitive body track? Great. So Katie's talking about our tracks. If you have not checked out the tracks, oops, yeah, right there. At this page, scroll down a bit. I have a video about the tracks, and I also have an image that shows all 5 of the tracks and what they're about, essentially. And these are overlays that you get to select as you do your 100 days, so you can have a deeper dive in a specific area that feels like it needs a little more support for you, or is just an area that you're interested in. And so we've got Money Honey, we've got the Woo Woo Crew, we've got the Intuitive Body, we've got hashtag relationship goals, and then we have the writer content creator track. And each of those tracks just has a progressive deep dive that comes in as an overlay to the 100 days. All of those are already in the 100 days. We just go deeper on the track that you choose. So Katie has chosen the intuitive body track. And what I would suggest for that, Katie, is you go ahead now and start including as a part of your practice in visiting the dojo what it is you're doing to tune in to your body's wisdom. The brain is communicating with us constantly using our body as a method of getting our attention. Pain is just a conversation. It is a way of our brain getting our attention in the easiest way for us to understand that something needs to have our attention, something needs to change. That's all pain is just let me get your attention in the way I know I can get it. And so when we have a relationship with our body where maybe we don't connect with it at all, we have been walled off from it, we operate from the neck up, and everything is brain, 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 and we never really connect with our bodies, it can be a little confronting to just sit still and connect to the breath and ask my body, what would you like to communicate to me? Where is my gut when I talk about getting a gut hit about something? So I would just kind of start building in a practice of tuning in so that you can really feel what that feels like, and feel if it brings up tears, or if it brings up resentment, or if there's some forgiveness work you need to do. I'm looking at my bookcase over here, I would definitely recommend any Louise Hay, which we'll do some of on the intuitive body track, but I would encourage you to just be open to what's going to unfold as a part of that track, rather than trying to optimize it, because often the reason our intuition feels a little cut off is because we're so busy trying to brain it out and optimize all the works of it. Kate says, do you think you will come to New York and other cities like you used to for workshops when it's safe to travel again? Yeah, Kate, I definitely have travel plans for fourth quarter 2021 already. We already have travel on the books. But in a completely different direction. We are going to go from LA to Sydney, Australia, and then take a cruise through New Zealand, and then back to Sydney, and then back to LA. So New York will not be a part of that trip, but once we are, immunized and feeling safe about traveling and understanding the state of the world, that we certainly will by then, we will start making some decisions for 2022 about doing the kind of travel that I'm used to, which of course is being in New York, being in Chicago, being in Toronto, sometimes being in Orlando and Atlanta, and Austin and Dallas and Houston and Seattle and uh, Portland, Vancouver. Like, I have a lot of places that I love to go to work with actors, including Sydney, including London. Definitely, we will be back to London, and I think this time I will bring Keith with me when I go to London. And last time I was in London in 2018, I also went to Berlin as a part of that tour. And I think that would probably all be on the table again. But we're looking at probably 2022 for that. And also, I'm writing a new book. So maybe by 2022, there's book tour that is a part of that as well. So we will see. Tamika, thank you so much for dropping the link for Nicole. I'm so glad you're going to check out the 100 days. We would love to have you. Remember the deadline for joining us for the live round. We do open other times of the year, but we will close registration today at 10 p.m. Pacific. So just under 10 hours from now, while we're live, this link will be not a registration page anymore, because we close off registration at the end of today so that we can spend all day tomorrow onboarding everyone who has joined, getting everybody in the right place, welcoming them, and setting the stage for a live round that kicks off on January 1st at midnight Pacific for 100 straight days. And of course, those Zooms every 10 days in support of the 100 days. And then we will reopen for registration whenever, not for a live round, later in the spring, so that you're able to come in at a different time. But if you're interested in the support of the live round and having us as a part of that journey of yours and working this structure, we would love to have you. It's just we are on a timeline for that. Lelia, hello, good to see you, sweetheart. Not sure if it's just me, but your sound on my phone and computer is pretty quiet. Everyone else, let me know. Oh, really? Okay, well, let me see what I can do about that. Yeah, because that's, you know what, I was actually listening back to a replay once upon a time and finding that I wasn't crazy about the levels. Let me see if I can move this up a little bit. I have just moved something on my screen that looks like it's bringing my volume up a little bit, and so I will ask you to let me know if that is making a difference for you or not. And I will do a very quick scroll to the much more recent comments to see if that helped. But thank you for letting me know. I meant to check that because I noticed in a replay of a curriculum Zoom where I am on the screen with, in this particular mastermind, everybody else is on screen, which is not like we do for Getting Gear. And their mics were all louder than mine in that replay as well. So that was something I meant to check. So let's see. The volume got better when you moved that. Okay, Justine, thank you for reporting that. Fabulous. Okay, so let me now get back to where I was in the comments so that I can get to everyone. And thank you so much, Leila, for asking me for that. Okay, hey, Miss Lisa Binder, it's so good to see you, sweetheart. I am your Auntie Bonnie. So good to see you. Jen, I'm so looking forward to success in self-care, especially as a mom of young kids. I've had health issues for years where my body is just giving me feedback and asking to be cared for better. Jen, I want you to Google Bonnie Gillespie Intuitive Filmmaker Podcast. When you Google Bonnie Gillespie Intuitive Filmmaker Podcast, you will find a fantastic podcast from filmmaker and goddess Jen Page, and I was her first interview for her new podcast that launched this year, and we did the recording at the very end of last year, and I talked specifically about the health journey and how the body can just scream for more support, and especially as creatives, why it is so vitally important that we pay attention to that. Because we keep our instrument ready to be storytellers and to work as artists with our our amazing scripts and as a part of our true north to get clarity with these stories and alignment with these voices that we're meant to amplify. And then we don't connect with our bodies in a way that allows us to be open for all the things that we can actually process if we take better care of ourselves. So Jen, I'm really, really glad that you are going to prioritize that as a part of the 100 days. Justine says, Bonnie, you're so awesome for sharing your sobriety journey and experiences. Also, as one in recovery, I appreciate it so much. Justine, thank you so much. I salute you also for role modeling to others what sobriety can look like. The first thing I did on the flight home from New York, where I got sober in October of 2016, first time I'd flown sober in decades, because I'm a nervous flyer, so this was interesting. Oh, it was a lot. I sat and journaled on the flight home to LA every single person that I knew in the entertainment industry or in my life personally who is sober and cool, because I had such a picture in my mind that sobriety looked square and sad. And I had this vision of people gathered in a basement in a circle crying about their broken lives and how hard everything is and the struggle of staying sober. And I wanted to remind myself that is one picture of a sober journey, but that doesn't have to be mine. And listing off sober role models helped me know it was possible for sobriety to also look vibrant and still playful and still fun loving and still sassy as hell, and all the things that I wanted to be in my life. And I think one of the reasons that I'm so open about my sober journey is because I know that that can help someone who might be searching for a role model in sobriety to go, the way Bonnie does it looks like something I would like my experience to feel like it. And everyone's journey is unique, obviously, but it may give them an opportunity to know that there are ways that sobriety can look that might match up with their needs better than what they may be thinking. Melissa says, my film is premiering privately for some pretty big people, and I'm excited yet scared to death, like panic attack zone. Any advice? Melissa, as you know from the 100 days, my number one go-to for reducing a panic attack is EFT tapping. EFT tapping. If you Google Bonnie Gillespie EFT tapping, you will find a video out on YouTube where I have my friend and just genius colleague and my coach for tapping, Dana Middleton, walk me through how to tap on the meridian points while saying some affirmations to move the anxiety level down. And EFT tapping is incredibly effective for reducing anxiety. And for those of you who are in the 100 days and like, oh, I want to do that, we will do that. Just hold tight. It's coming. We got a lot we are going to expose to you in a short period of time. So don't overwhelm yourself by starting like extra credit today, because you want to have sustainable energy for the 100 days. And then my second favorite choice would also come from the dojo and the 100 days, which is the LaxVox. And you remember how I told the story of how we have a ninja in our community, in our 100-day community. She's a lifer who used the LaxVox to get her vocal cords to open and settle down and create some healthier sounds in her voiceover work. But it also had a side effect, because it's also breath work, of completely eliminating her crippling anxiety that she used to have around auditioning. She used to have to take beta blockers to audition. She used to have to take beta blockers in acting class because she would so flip out. And getting that breath work done in LaxVox actually allowed her to transform her relationship with herself and her anxiety. So those are my big two tools right there. And you already obviously have, you've had that experience. You've been a part of the 100 days, so you know those. And I would just revisit that. Mara asks at YouTube, what's the best way to keep saying no, yet remain in my rep's good graces while deliberately aiming my career toward my true north when they're pushing too much of what I don't necessarily want? So Mara, tough talk here. If they are not listening to you, if they're not having it, you might have to ask yourself, is this my hell yes rep at this tier? Because they may have been your hell yes rep at a previous tier, and maybe now not so much. And maybe some of the recalibration that you do for 2021 is upgrading your team, because your hell yes rep is not going to try and convince you to do something that violates your no line. Your hell yes rep is going to say, thank you for letting me know your no line. You now live in the file of people who don't do that, and I will only submit you thusly. It's like when I learn someone's like, I'm not going to do nudity, I go, great. I don't call you in for roles that involve nudity. It's when someone says, I won't do anything where I have to smoke, I go, great. I'm not going to call you in for any role that I know they're going to require to do some smoking or use guns or language that they don't like. Just your no line is not negotiable. And so to stay in my rep's good graces kind of has a power dynamic of they have power and I need to acquiesce to them. So I think the problem may actually be that relationship is no longer aligned, and maybe your energy needs to be not on how do I keep them liking me and feeling good about repping me, but instead how can I upgrade my rep to people who are hell yes about my hell yes and who are respectful of my no line. That may be your work, Mara. Yes. Okay, awesome. Yes, London. I know, Lenka, right? Ugh, it's been too long. Okay, fabulous. Okay, fabulous. The Intuitive Filmmaker Podcast with Jen Page is an amazing podcast, says Justine, and Bonnie's episode is Rockstar Ninja-tastic. Thank you. You are always there with the emojis. I love you so much. Yes. Okay. Mara says that podcast episode was a gem of wisdom. Yes. Justine says, oh yeah, flying sober for the first time is an interesting experience for sure. Yeah, I didn't like it. I don't like the anxiety that I have at airports in general, because I'm learning the more intuitive body work that I do, the more healing work that I do, is that I am not an empath, but I definitely am a highly sensitive person. I am tuned into other people's emotions and anxieties enough that being in a place like an airport it's overstimulating. It's too much energy, and it's not even all mine. And so part of the drinking while traveling was not just because I want to check out, I want to have fun, I want to feel good. Yes, check all those boxes, but also I want to not feel all the signals that are coming at me from everyone else's anxiety. And the alcohol did a really good job of numbing me to that. But I've now found other tools that help me take down that anxiety, and we just talked about two of them with Melissa's wonderful question. Yes, I agree. EFT is a really soothing and grounding practice, Justine. Yes. Okay, good. Millie, I'm glad that aligns for you and that you're now remembering, yes, that is some good stuff that I can use. Excellent. Breath work, also a different stimulation of the vagus nerve, which runs between the brain and gut. Science is awesome. Yes, Stephanie, in Expansive Capacity this month, we're doing the polyvagal theory with our work on your relationship with your true north, and that shit's just like, oh my God, so amazing. Let's see, since AA women, African American women, are trending this year, says Mara, and can do many genres as well. I can do many genres as well. They offer me more what I want, we're talking about your rep. Okay, and it looks like you got cut off there. Lelia says, a little out of the box. I took a break from acting, then came back and was so incredibly mean to myself and critical of everyone's work, and I didn't like it at all. Felt like a bad actor, and I just didn't belong in the acting business. Not sure what my question is, but do you have any thoughts or advice regarding when you're questioning whether this acting is meant for you? Lelia, I know I did your chart as a part of our woo-woo offerings. Are you having your Saturn return? Are you like in that age 27, 28, 29 place? I can't recall off the top of my head. I'm going to wait for you to answer that, or I'll see when you answer that, and I will continue giving advice based on where you are with your Saturn return, because we can go woo with the advice, or I can just speak to it for anybody at whatever age and stage. Mara is saying they're good to work with. You're on an iPad. Girl, I know the struggle is real on an iPad. I had a time where I was having an issue with my computer, so I used my iPad mini and an external keyboard, a Bluetooth keyboard, because I was like, I cannot make me type like dink, 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 or worse on this tiny little thing, dink, 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 dink. I mean, believe me, I love all my technology. Thank you very much for all the miracles that are technology. But I'm like, Mama needs to stretch the fingers out. Like I got piano fingers. I need a keyboard. Yes. Leila says, how can I change the pathway I've already chosen? Leila, if you mean your track, yes. There is an Airtable link in the Dojo private Facebook group that you should click that link and follow it and fill that in. And if you've already filled it out, the newest time you fill it out will bump the time that you filled it out before, but you have to get it locked in by 10 o'clock tonight Pacific. So you have a little over 9 hours to get that locked in if you are changing your track. And if you're like, I can't find the Airtable link, you can email help@bonniegillespie.com, but please try and find the Airtable link so that you can help my team that is already taxed and busy on this, our busiest day of the year, because we have so many people registering. We have people who are already in the membership, who are month to month, who are upgrading to lifer status. We also have so many people who are coming back after having left the dojo, because we offer a one time a year opportunity to do that. So it's a very busy time for us in our business. And I would love it if you could find that Airtable link and fill that form out for yourself. And if you're in the Dojo Facebook group, someone maybe can tag you in that thread where I have already shared that. Awesome. So amazing, says Stephanie. I'm not sure on what, but I'll take it. Or maybe it's in comment to someone else, which I'll take that as well. Justine says, finding ways other than numbing ourselves out. Well, it looks like my chat maybe stalled out. I wonder. We'll find out. Finding ways other than just numbing ourselves out, like grounding and centering ourselves, works wonders so much more than an escape route. Lelia says, I'm 23. Okay, Lelia, you are not at your Saturn return yet. Okay. You still have a few years. So what you're experiencing is actually, oh, I do. I was like, did I bring the woo-woo tool that is going to help me answer this easily? And I did. I'm so smart. Okay, you are facing a Jupiter conjunct your natal Jupiter. Jupiter is where we're prosperous. Jupiter is where we are. So this is your Jupiter return rather than your Saturn return, because the Saturn return happens closer to the late 20s. You are going through your Jupiter return, which happens several times throughout our lives, as does the Saturn return, but the Saturn return generally only happens 3 times in a person's life, depending on how far we go. But and it's more jarring. The Jupiter return is we come back to the prosperity that was in our contract with the planet, the universe, when our soul's contract, when we were born with this map, not this map, but this map, when we were born with this map, we entered into a contract of, this is what I'm here to fulfill. These are my gifts. These are my lessons. The red stuff in my chart are my lessons, and the blue stuff in my chart are my gifts. And we are always given enough gifts to handle our lessons. That's the beautiful thing of it all. There's so many beautiful things of it all, but that's some of it. Your Jupiter return is asking you, are you aligned with your gifts? Are you actually doing the things that light up the prosperity in your life? And so if you're feeling some kind of tension around acting and some kind of judgment around the people who are doing it, you might just be with the wrong crowd. And like with Mara, you may need to upgrade the crowd. This is that Jim Rohn quote, we are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. You may need to invest in upgrades of your peer group, your support system, your collaborators for creating things. And you are possibly just not loving who they are and what they're doing and what they stand for. Or it could be that you are being asked, like, are you really aligned with your gifts and where you're meant to be prosperous? Could there be something more? And you will know for sure when you hit your Saturn return in a few years, when you will really have a come to Jesus meeting about your destiny and what you're meant to go through. Let's see. Okay, cool. Darcy, I'm questioning my abilities as an actor too. I got sidetracked just trying to survive for so long. I haven't really acted in years, and now I worry if it's for me at all, and I'm 34. So, Darcy, I've not done your chart. I had done Layla's chart, which is why I knew I could share with her some things. Just doing a quick check of 34. No, nothing specific at 34. But what I would take a look at outside of the woo, and since I've not done your chart, Darcy, I would just say I would consider if 2020, the year of clarity, the year of really having to spend time with ourselves without all the distractions, without all the things that we have in our lives that are meant to distract us from what it is to just be still and quiet and with ourselves and with our thoughts and with our feelings. Having none of those supports, or having lost many of those supports, plus having lost loved ones, having lost the ability to connect with people in the same kind of way, having lost physical touch, just there's so much that we have lost in 2020. We're grieving. And as a part of that grief, if you've, of course, been divorced from your acting career for the year, there can be this disassociation with it. It feels as though we're unplugged from it. And I was actually speaking about this on Clubhouse earlier this morning. It was 5 o'clock this morning when I was on Clubhouse in the Actors Connect room, which is an amazing room. Oh my God, what a vibe. I love it. I was talking about how our inertia for things is a lot like Mercury retrograde. If you think about how there's this illusion of this moving backwards, but there's this moment where it's no longer moving backwards, it's not yet moving forward, it stops. It stops from a degree measurement perspective and then gets going in the proper direction. And inertia is about motion. And if you're in a place that feels stopped, that's confronting. It really does allow for reevaluating, and am I doing what I'm supposed to do? Like, do I want to be a storyteller? I think we all had a bit of a come to Jesus this year with, am I doing the work that I want to do? Am I with the person? Divorce record high this year because people were confronted with spending more time around someone that they usually had lots of separation from, and may learn, oh, I don't like you as much as I like you fine when I only have you a couple hours a day and then sleep next to you. But when I have you 24/7, 365, not so much. This is the same kind of thing. And so I would just give yourself some grace with having been in survival mode for so long, and ask yourself some questions about who you want to be as an artist, as a storyteller, and if it has to be done with acting. I haven't been an actor in more than 20 years, and I don't miss it because I get to still speak on a platform to an audience and communicate in a way that changes lives and moves people and helps them feel empowered for their storytelling gifts. And I am fed and I get paid ridiculously well for speaking all over the world. When non-COVID times I can go to those places, but even virtually I get paid very well to speak to groups and inspire them. And I'm getting all the things out of my acting career without having to audition and without having to memorize lines. I know what I need to say and want to say. So maybe it doesn't have to be acting for you, but be open to that without judgment. Rather than going, that means I've not been on the right track. Rather than going, oh, I've wasted so much time. Come from a place of curiosity and give yourself some grace for recognizing that maybe you need a change. I don't know. You'll let me know, of course. And if you join us in the 100 days, which let me put up the link again, because registration does close in 9 hours. If you join us for these 100 days in this live round, we will have an opportunity to put you in the hot seat and have you ask questions audibly on the Zoom, so that, and in the comments every day. And the live Zooms are every 10 days throughout the 100 days for the live round, so that we can unpack this a little bit and really see what that might be. So everyone who is looking to, if you're a returning member who wants to come back, lifer, if you're a current month-to-month member who wants to upgrade to lifer, talk to us. You don't have to go through this link. You can just email us at help@bonniegillespie.com, and we'll give you the link for upgrading or coming back. And if you've never been a part of this and would like to join us, that is your link. And you have 3 different ways you can join us. You can go lifer, you can do payment plan, or you can go month to month. And all of that closes at 10 p.m. Pacific on today, the 30th of December. Ah, yes, Stephanie, polyvagal theory, so amazing. True. Yes. Michael, Who was the great audiobook production guy you had on the free week of professional interviews you did several months ago? Maybe a year. Time goes fast. Michael, if you're talking about the SMFA Summit, that was in May of 2020. Audiobook production may have been David H. Lawrence. He is the VO to go guy. But if you just Google David Lawrence voiceover, you will find him. He's David H. Lawrence, the Roman numerals 17th, I think. No, I know, 17th. But if it's him, if bald guy who was on a Zoom with me where I was in this space and he was in front of a brick wall, that would have been a part of the SMFA Summit. And he's got a very dominating web presence, so he's Googleable and easy to find. Tanya has dropped the Airtable link for those who need it. That link, y'all, that Airtable link is only for people who are already members. That's it. If you fill that out and you're not a member, you are crushing the customer service of my team at a crucial time. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. So I may actually sweep back by the comments and delete that one, because that I want you to be tagged in the dojo that's where that link is, rather than that link being out in the world, because I don't want randos filling that out, because it's not how to register for the program. That is for people who are already in it and who have already been in it, not people joining new, and not for people who have not joined. So maybe Layla, yes, you've now clicked on that. Maybe Tanya can delete the comment, and we won't add to too much stress of my amazing team that is, thank you so much, working throughout these holidays and this year-end time that's usually very quiet, because I ramp things up, they ramp things up, and I appreciate them. So we have a celebrity in the house. It is Twinkie Bird. Tracy Twinkie Bird, I love you so much. I meant to tell you that, and I may have said this in the DMs at Instagram, Twinkie, of course, legendary casting director, also an author, also a speaker, also just a shining light in the world for all things right and just. And I love her so much. Amazing director, phenomenal human being on just every level. Pole sister of mine. In fact, my pole baby, because I'm the one who got her in there. I love you so much, Twinkie. She was talking about me at Clubhouse, and I got a text from one of my dear friends, Amin, who had seen or heard the shout out. And he said, "You're being talked about on Clubhouse." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, cool." And he's like, no. Like, in a room with 1,000 people, Twinkie just said, you need self-management for actors. You need Bonnie Gillespie in your life. You are about to have a spike in book sales. And sure enough, yesterday we were in like the top 10, top 5 in 3 categories simultaneously. And I know that's the Twinkie Bird effect. That is the Clubhouse effect. It is phenomenal. So thank you so much, Twinkie, for always being a champion for my work and for being so supportive of me and our industry, and hashtag creating the Hollywood we want. That is super meaningful to me and to so many people. Mara says, if we already have a lifetime membership to Getting Gear for the next tier, do we still need to re-register for access to the 100 days by 10 p.m. tonight? Mara, no, but if you want to do the live round, you do need to fill out that Airtable link, which is in the Dojo Facebook group. And so obviously, if you can't find that, you can email help@bonniegillespie.com. But we do need you to fill out that form in order to be in the queue for the live round emails. And you can say, I don't actually need all the daily emails. I only want the reminders of the Zooms. Or you can say, I want all the daily emails and I want to track. Or you could say, I don't want to track this time. But yes, you have access to it even without those emails. But if you want us to remind you that things are happening around the live round, you do need to fill out that Airtable link. Yes, alignment 4 days. You're welcome, Lelia. Absolutely my pleasure. Lana wants to know, how do we get our charts? Lana, I have a link for you. It is this. Lana, go to bonniegillespie.com/astro if you want me to do it. If you want to do it yourself, go to bonniegillespie.com/free-astro or free-astro, because that will give you a kit for how you can do it yourself. And I do a mini course where I have videos where I teach you what a lot of the major things mean on a chart, and also show you how to render your own chart. So if you're the do-it-yourself type and you can just learn from me saying, in general, this means this, in general, this means that, this is the way to go. But if you would like to have me do your chart and interpret for you what it is that, let's see, now I need this one back, and have me interpret for you this combination of things that is uniquely you means this. I have a You and the Stars report that's available here. I also have an ongoing mastermind for people who are woo curious. I don't know if this is official yet. Is Tamika here? Tamika, are you here? Let me look. Tamika, can I say it? Thank you, Tanya. Tamika, can I say it? Can I say it? Can I say it? Yeah, okay. Also, coming in 2021, I am launching a podcast with Tamika Simpkins for the Woo Curious. And we are going to do weekly conversations about what's happening in Big Astro and certain elements, no pun intended, certain elements of your chart. And we will talk about what certain things mean and how certain configurations of the planets manifest in real life examples. And I am maybe more than a little excited about this new podcast that we are launching. So stay tuned. I'm so excited. 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 Oh my God. It's great. I'm going to geek out forever. Oh my gosh. Justine says, yes, I appreciate the conversation about being unplugged and feeling disassociated from things in 2020. Thank you for bringing up that question and insights. Right. Justine, 2020 is, we all felt a foot on our necks in 2020. If you are a person of color, you felt it more. If you are Black, you felt it more. If you are a woman, you felt it more. If you are non-binary gender identifying, you felt it more. If you are trans, you felt it more. There is a combination of things that if you identify these kinds of ways, you experienced it the most. And the mental health crisis that is 2020, and specifically in the United States, and how our leadership handled things while being at fucking peak racism and peak elitism and peak patriarchy is no fucking joke. That any of us survived that is a hug yourself fucking miracle, y'all. I mean, it's a lot, and we've got a lot of work to do. Saturn and Jupiter both moved into Aquarius this month, and this means revolution times, y'all. We have 3 years ahead of us now where we are going to burn the motherfucker down and rebuild from a place of light and air and communication and idealistic versions and visions of what the world can be in terms of proper representation and reparations being the truth more and more. It's going to be bloody, but it's going to happen, and we're going to experience it in our generation. And so for me, any moment where I felt so dark in 2020 that I was like, I can't live through this, I went, I have to get to 2024 because I am so excited to see the version of our world that exists just a few years from now. If we think about people who lived through the Great Depression, people who lived through the Black Plague, people who lived through any crisis of things that you look back on and go, oh, that's what was happening then. That movement happened at that point in time. They only really know that looking back. We have the advantage of sitting in 2020 knowing we are in the middle of a fucking revolution, and we can actually steer it, especially those of us in show business, especially those of us who use our voices for a living. Oh my God. Use your platform for good, because wow, what a time we have and an opportunity that we have. And I am just so thrilled for all of that. Twinkie says, so thankful you are in your gifts. We feel the passion. Twinkie, I love you. I love you so much. Lenka, thank you for dropping the link for everyone to join us for the 100 days that will change your freaking life, your career, your relationship with yourself, that will give you so much support and encouragement and just understanding that you're not alone. And I think that is something really valuable right now. And showing up for yourself in that kind of way is possibly confronting, because if you've never shown up for yourself like that, you're going to learn things about yourself. It's a little bit like getting sober. One of the big gifts of early sobriety was there were so many things that I would go, oh yeah, I was an asshole because I was drunk. And I could just write off any time that I was an asshole as, yes, I was drunk. I'm so sorry about that. I drank too much, therefore I was an asshole. And starting in October of 2016, I had to really look at where, oh, no. You're actually just as much an asshole about that or with this person or with this situation sober. So it's not the alcohol. You're an asshole about that. And I had to really sit with the confronting fact of, oh, there are places in my life where I'm just an asshole, and decide, do I want to change that or soften that? Or is that just, I'm going to own that and be unapologetic about that? And it's case by case on what I chose. Yes. Awesome. Excellent. I love you, Twinkie. Oh my gosh. Yes. Lana, fantastic. I'm so glad. All right. Excellent. Okay, so Woo Curious, Lenka, dropping those links. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. Okay, everybody's excited about our podcast, Tamika. Everybody's excited. I know, two crazy Cancerians. I'm like, I pitched it to her. I sent her this big, long email that I was like, all right, Tamika, sit and read. I got a novel for you. And it's like, here's what I envision, and here's the format, and here it's kind of like, Bonnie geeks out about astrology, and then Tamika translates it for people about, here's what that actually means. Here's what that looks like in the real world. Here's a real life example. And that I just, of course, love collaborating with ninjas, my fam, and of course, with us both being Cancer signs, we are all about the nurturing and the fierce protecting of our family, and our family is how we define it. So I love the nurturing vibe that it really brings to this, and of course we're just going to have an amazing time. Yes. Fabulous. Excellent. Okay, what other questions might you have, beautiful people? We've done an hour. I can stay on a little bit longer, but anything is fair game. Any questions that you have about the 100 days, about the framework, about astrology, about your creative career, what you got? And if I don't see any questions coming in this next little wave of calling for it, we will call this done, because I got plenty of work to do welcoming new people into our 100-day live round. I'm gonna put that link up one more time, because oh my gosh, this is our busiest day. This of the whole year. This day is where it all happens, because we let people know we're enrolling for a little window in November for early birds, and then again we start talking about it in the third week of December. And for some reason, people love to wait till today. Like people love buying on the last day. People love buying at the last minute, and that is so, like, from a buyer psychology perspective, that is so weird to me, because for me, I like to buy when I know I want it, and then I'll wait until the thing starts. But for some reason, it's like, no, I'm waiting until doors are closing, which is why you have to have a deadline, just in terms of launch strategy. Favorite ice cream flavor? KD, you ready? Lana, go to this link, since you want to know what is the 100 days. It is 100 straight days of structure and support around this framework, which you can get a PDF of this and a workbook at that link, and a replay of a free training that I did. That will be up until 10 p.m. Pacific. So like 9 hours from now, it'll be gone. If you're watching live, if you're watching replay, it may already be gone. But this is where we take the tools of self-management for actors and put them into this framework that is a system that needs to be running in a healthy way for your creative career to thrive. And so it is a business course for showbiz creatives, but we have people in there who are not in showbiz. We have people in there who are not actors. We have agents, managers, casting directors, producers, publicists, showrunners. We have people in the membership who are reality show stars. We have a couple of name actors, and you don't see them comment in the dojo because they have a very private experience with us, because their workout needs to be private. But this is a group experience when we do the one time of year live round. And that's where you have the support, not only of the 100 straight days of curriculum, of tools and mindset and relationship building work, but also my live Q&A Zooms every 10 days. So thank you so much for dropping the link there, Lenka, as well. Favorite ice cream flavor? KD, get ready. There is a place called Sloan's. You're going to get my mouth watering, and I'm going to have to make Keith go get me ice cream. So, KD, I love hate you right now. Sloan's has these two flavors that go crazy well together. And one of them is a peanut butter cream kind of ice cream with a swirl of a ribbon of actual peanut butter and some chocolate big chunks in there. And then the other one is like a ground up, almost Oreo texture, kind of like almost like you would have a milkshake, but it's hard frozen with chocolate covered pretzels and a ribbon of peanut butter in it. And I take both those flavors and put them half and half into a cup and just go ham. Like, love, love. Because like I don't know what, there's something about the balance of the salty, sweet, crunchy, butterfat goodness. Oh my god, it's so fucking good. It's so fucking good. And I know that's a completely complicated favorite ice cream flavor, but that's the truth of it. Millie wants to know, when does the 100 days start? We will kick off day 1 at midnight Pacific, January 1st. So what that means is today is the 30th. At 10 p.m. Pacific, we close registration, and then we take all day tomorrow, the 31st, to get everybody in and answer the questions and deal with the tech support of, oh, I signed up with this email address. I would rather this email address. You know, oh, yeah, like I'm locked out. My password's not working. Reset. Like there's just a bunch of logistics that we have to do with the volume of people who come in at year end for the live round. So on the 31st, we do that. And then when it turns the January 1st midnight ball drop moment, we send out the first email, Pacific time, we send out the first email that welcomes you to day 1. And every day for 100 days, you are welcomed to a new day of curriculum. So the live round goes January 1st to April 9th, I think is day 100. Pretty sure. And then we do allow people to join at other times of the year. We just only do a live round this time of year. Yes, you will be on day 100 on April 10th of 2021. So that's how the timing works for the live round. So there's still time to get in, just under 9 hours now if you're watching live. And we have a payment plan. We have a lifer option, which if you join lifer, you're in. Like you have bought access for as long as the platform and technology exists for it to be in our world, you are in it. And one of the benefits of being a member is you get discounted coaching with me. So for people who coach with me, being a member is a no-brainer because it gets you the lowest price on coaching with me, which can save thousands of dollars over the course of a year, depending on how much you coach with me, which my higher tier clients coach with me sometimes monthly, sometimes quarterly, sometimes just once a year for a tune-up. It depends, but the coaching discount is available for you if you're a lifer forever. So you have locked in our lowest price for coaching forever and ever. Which is kind of phenomenal, a benefit if you think about it. Because like when Oprah calls and I'm sitting between the oak trees in Santa Barbara having a talk with her about my new book in 2022 or 2023, we are probably going to have to change the prices on our coaching offers and limit my availability. And you will still always get the lowest price that we offer for that. You also get access on day 101 to our exclusive Facebook group, which is grads only that are current members. So that's all our lifers and anyone who's still paying month to month, which was the third kind of membership you can do. So there's lifer, there's a payment plan for lifer, and then there's month to month, which is you pay to come in, and then at the 121 day, so you get 120 days for the enrollment fee, and then on day 121, $30 a month starts for you to continue your gym membership. And if you're like, yeah, I want to continue the workout, I want to do the 100 days again, I want to pick a different track, I want to explore some of the benefits of ongoing membership, you can just do a gym membership, which is the $30 a month. Yes. Okay. Justine says, thank you so much, Bonnie and team, for all of you wonderful people for this outstanding, inspiring conversation. Love and light to you all. Yes, yes, yes. Excellent. I know, always a good time for ice cream. I know. Yes. Oh my gosh. That's right. There was a time that we had ordered vegan ice cream from Craig's, and it showed up during a curriculum Zoom. So I had all the ninjas on the Zoom, and we were doing a mastermind and doing a Q&A, and Keith came rushing in with the delivery of Craig's vegan ice cream. And I was like, y'all, and everybody's just like, oh my God. Yes, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Okay, awesome. I know, wasn't that a so on brand favorite ice cream? Jay Blake White, heard you on Clubhouse last night. Great shares. Glad to be following you. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you. I really appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you being on Clubhouse. There is so much love there. There is so much good energy. There is so much networking going on. Woo, my gosh. It's just a really beautiful space, and it's still in beta. It's still for iPhone only. So there are, limitations to the ability to be a part of it. But without question, there is some magic going on there. So thank you for following me over here and popping in on the live. We are just about to wrap things up. This is it. Yeah, we've got just under 9 hours for getting gear for the next tier. If you didn't get to catch my free year-end planning or planning for 2021 using astrology live stream, that is available at my Facebook and YouTube channel, the Facebook page and YouTube channel. The replay remains available there, so you can check that out. And as always, if you have a question, you're like, gosh, I wish I knew the answer, you can go Bonnie Gillespie, Google Bonnie Gillespie, and then the word or phrase that you want to know about. And I've probably written about it because I've been at this for 22 years. I not only moved to LA 22 years ago yesterday, yay, LA anniversary, but starting 6 months after I moved here, so summer of 1999, I started interviewing casting directors for a living. And I still to this day hold the record for interviewing the most casting directors of anyone else who's ever interviewed casting directors, which is a small population. But I still am very proud that I interviewed hundreds of casting directors, especially at a time when you couldn't find out what casting directors thought about things. There weren't DVD extras or behind the scenes or audition footage on YouTube because none of these things existed. So it was a very cloaked in secrecy experience back then. And through my journey of doing all of this, I've been able to build up all this work of getting gear for the next tier and the framework for enoughness and self-management for actors, which is just an answer to every question an actor ever asked. So I thank y'all for being a part of my creative journey. Jen wants to know the name of the astrological planner. The big one is from Honeycomb Collective. So if you go to honeycomb.co, they will custom make one for you, and you get the digital one right away. And if you want a physical one, it takes a little while to get that shipped to you, and you can get a 6-month or a year version. And you get to choose like what house system you want and how many like of the dwarf planets and asteroids and satellites and things that you want on your chart, and which ones are like, no, that's clutter, I don't know what that is, so don't confuse me with more information than I need. That's all stuff that's customizable, as well as the artwork is customizable, so I paid extra to choose the artwork that resonated with me more. But that's that one. I also have ones that are not customized that I love. And I think I showed this one already, which is the Llewellyn Pocket Planner. And I think this one might be Llewellyn also. Yeah, this is the Llewellyn Daily Planetary Calendar, Daily Planetary Guide. And this one is available on Amazon. And what I love about it is it actually goes and explains stuff in a really in-depth way. So, and it breaks down the vibe of every week, 1 week at a time. And it's incredibly comprehensive. It says, this is transiting this, and here's what that means. And so your Honeycomb Collective is not going to do that. It may show you what your transits are, but you have to do the interpretation. And this is not going to show you your transits, but it'll show you the transits everyone is experiencing. To know what your transits are, you may want to come work with me in Aligned Advantage, which is our woo-woo membership, where I take all of that deeper. But if you know your chart enough to understand when you're having something squared and what that means to have something squared, you'll be fine. Great. Yes, Michael, I will see you midnight on the 1st. Happy New Year to you as well. Happy Woo Year. I like it. I like it. Gary says, I'm so glad to be back. Really looking forward to these 100 days. I'll try not to let the woo freak me out again. Gary, you can skip the woo. It's optional. You do not have to do the woo at all. For those who are woo curious, we offer it. And for those who are like, nope, I would like to experience this with no woo, that happens. There are people who just open a day and go, oh, this is a woo day, and then close it. You do not have to do the woo. Absolutely. But if you're like, no, I want to remain open and curious rather than reactive and scared, I like that growth mindset that feels really good. But just give yourself grace if you slip back into stronger muscles, because our existing stronger muscles have a lot of practice being what they are. So, especially after the year that we've just had, show yourself some grace when they pop up. Because that's why a lot of us, I for sure, put on weight this year, because we go back to not just what comforts me and makes me feel held and what makes me feel safe, but also what are our go-tos for feeling supported, and when we're scared, how do we fix that? And so for me, I'm like, well, I'm not going back to vodka, but I can certainly go to my ice cream. Yeah, open and inviting sounds good. Okay, awesome, Gary. Jenny, so good to see you. Beautiful. Congratulations on all the success your film is having. Again, I'm just so proud of you and inspired by what you're putting out in the world, and the leadership you continue to show as one of our beautiful ninjas out there in the Ninjaverse. All right, you beautiful people, hug yourself one more time. Ouch, I just totally cracked my fingernail on my iPad. Ow. Ooh, it's like hitting your elbow, your funny bone. Anyway, hug yourself. Give yourself lots of love, lots of grace. Set a word for your intention for 2021. Mine is fun. I am looking for lots of friskiness and fun and playful energy around everything that I do in 2021. And if we can be of service to you, please just let us know. You can reach out at any time, help@bonniegillespie.com, and I'm here for you. Love you, beautiful people. Till next time in 2021, stay ninja. Bye.